to heat up your frozen dinners, grab your TV tray, and settle in for another episode of the Plus Platoon, your podcast for all things Disney Plus, brought to you by Disney Plus fans. Watch along with us every week as we cover all the new, the old, the good, and the bad on Disney Plus. So put down that remote, don't touch that dial, and welcome your fabulous Plus Platoon host.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Plus Platoon. My name's Derrick. We are a Disney Plus fan podcast that gives honest, spoiler-filled reviews of movies and shows on Disney Plus. We look at new releases, coming attractions, and we'll even go back into the vault to visit some of the classic Disney that's on the platform. Make sure you're subscribed and you will never miss a moment. I'm going to bring in Kate. Kate, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm
this
so
afternoon. Yeah.
good. I know this isn't our normal time to meet.
No, it's not, but
We're
several
shaking
of
it
us
up.
have lots of several of us got lots of things going this week. So if you're watching this on Tuesday, you're actually seeing a taped episode for us because Kate and I are going to go and we're going to look back at some of where did that come from? Why do we do Pixie Dust? And what is with her being confused and all that kind of stuff. But before we get into some of those clips, Kate, we do have a little bit of Disney Plus news.
We do have some Disney Plus news, kicking it off with, according to Disney Plus UK, She-Hulk is going to be released on August 17th. Bruce Banner's cousin, Jennifer Waters, needs a transfusion and will get some of his powers as well. Miss Waters worked as a lawyer specializing in superhuman-oriented legal classes. Mark Ruffalo returns as the Hulk, along with introducing Tim Roth as Abomination and Jamila Jamil as Titania. So that's super exciting.
Seems a little forced to me as far as why all of a sudden there's a She-Hulk.
It does. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. And secondly, Trevor the Musical, an off-Broadway musical, will premiere June 24th. The musical follows Trevor as he works to find his identity as a 13-year-old. I think that's what all of us did at 13, was just try to figure out who we were and have absolutely
41.
I know, or 34, it's fine. It's fine. All right, let's jump into it.
You say you've heard of Trevor the Musical?
I have. So I was on Disney Plus looking at some Marvel stuff, and when I logged in, there was like a coming soon, and it had Trevor the Musical, like a banner for it, and I was like, oh. And at first I actually got it mixed up and thought it was Better Nate Than Ever.
Okay.
Like, oh, is this the one that we talked about? And then I was like, no, that's not what it was called. So I spent a little bit of time looking at it because I was like, oh wait, we talked about, oh no, I don't think that's it. So we'll see. Could be good,
okay.
Could be worst.
Okay. We'll see.
So
as I said, we're gonna look back at some of the moments of, okay, I just started watching or listening 2 weeks ago, and there's all these different things they keep referring to. Where do those come from?
Yeah.
The first one, I'm gonna go back to episode 1 for our first Pixie Dust ratings.
So this is our very first episode we ever did.
This is first episode ever. This was us doing the Mighty Ducks up on the community hall on my DVC points. So
wow, let's do it.
Here we go.
Oh no.
How we're going to be rating these movies. In Tinkerbell and the Lost Treasure, they do it by cups of pixie dust. Okay, a pixie dust is measured by a little teacup. Okay, how many pixie dust cups out of 5 would you rate this movie, Kate?
Okay, but are we rating it? Are we rating it based on 2021 standards, or are we rating it based on 1991 standards?
How would you rate the movie?
I would give it a 4. I love this movie, so okay. I would give it a 4.
Okay. Rebecca?
3 seems too low, but 4 seems too high. Because
3.5.
Yeah, because it's like right in the middle of like, okay, yeah, it's every quintessential Disney movie out there ever. But had I seen it in 1992 when it first came out, it probably would have been amazing to me. So I'm going to say about, 3.5.
Okay. Pete?
I'm going to give it a 3 because while there's worse movies of this form out there, there's also a lot better ones. So, I mean, someone mentioned earlier Cool Runnings, which we watched not too long ago, is in my view, a much better movie than this. So, I would say 3.
Okay.
Okay, so 40-year-old me would give it a 3, but 12-year-old me would give it a 4. So I'm going with Rebecca, and I'm giving it a 3.5.
Okay. I'm right in there. I'm 3.5 also is where I'm at. How I kind of gauge it is it a movie that I'm going to go seek out? Hey, let's put this on with my 12, 13-year-old son when there's so many other movies that are just like it? No. Is it, if it comes on, am I saying, no, I'm not absolutely not watching that? No. And the 3.5, to me, it pulls in the nostalgia while yet it's still, Disney has continued to improve their sports movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that was a while ago.
That was so long ago. And what's so funny is I remember being so nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I don't have a good reason, but I remember being so nervous. And sometimes when I get nervous, I yawn a lot. And so it didn't show up. I was waiting for it to show up in this video, but I remember being like, because I kept yawning because I was so nervous. Man, I was generous with that. I don't give out 4s easily.
Would you keep it as a 4 right now?
No, it might get a 3.
Okay.
Well, or maybe a 3.5.
Okay. I mean, and I'd agree. I'd drop it probably down to a straight 3 for me, just because a 3.5 is a movie that I will usually go and, hey, let's watch this.
Yeah.
And Mighty Ducks isn't really that if you're not in the mood.
If I had kids, maybe if I had a kid, but it's not something that I would just go watch.
That's fair. Okay. So our next clip actually comes from the next episode when we're reviewing Own the Room.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Because there's going to be some irony by the end of this clip. So as review, it was a documentary about a bunch of kids in a speaking competition as entrepreneurs. Here we go.
I'm actually going to give it a 4.5 cups of Pixie Dust. I loved it. I wanted more. That's the reason it doesn't get 5 is because I wanted more background. I wanted more depth into all of the 5, I'll call them characters, but the 5 people we were seeing. So I loved it. Pete, how many cups?
Did I mute that sneeze in time? I tried to.
Yeah, you did.
I'm also going to give it 4. I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. I would definitely recommend, it's not something I would go back to and watch again, I don't think, but it's definitely something I was glad I watched. So I would give it 4 out of 5.
Oh my gosh. Well, friend, let me tell you, I was going to give it a 3.5, but hearing you guys and after we kind of dissected, before we did this podcast, I was going to give it a 3.5, but after we have dissected it, I'll bump it to a 4. And I'm planning on being very stingy with my 4s and 5s, so I'll give it a 4.
Okay. Keeping in mind, I have been talked up through this. I'm going to give it 1.5. I can't.
You didn't like it?
I can't. I did not like it.
That's okay.
So, Derrick, do you like documentaries?
I love documentaries.
Okay, just curious.
I would love documentaries, and I'm an English teacher, so I think that may be part of where I'm coming from, wanting to see the people speak.
Got it.
But yeah, just did not do it for me.
Was it better or worse than Flora and Ulysses?
Better in the fact that I actually finished it. Yeah. And Brian says Derrick's completely incorrect. Trust me, I get that all the time.
Yep.
I get that all the time. That's nothing new to me.
At least two.
No, I can't do a 2. Especially based on what we rated Mighty Ducks last week. This doesn't come even close to a 2. So
you know what, Derrick? Just be wrong in your wrongness, okay?
So
own the rating.
Yeah, so the 4 of you are all saying this was better than the Mighty Ducks.
Yes.
It was to me. I gave Mighty Ducks 3.5. So yeah.
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 Can you really compare them?
Totally different
Yeah.
genre.
That's like comparing Mickey Mouse to Captain America. Like,
Ooh,
Captain America.
excellent
Mickey Mouse.
segue
I
there.
can't compare those two.
Uh-huh.
Wow. I love how I say, I'm going to be really stingy with my points. And then I give it a 4. If I didn't say it now, oh, absolutely. It'd be like a 1.5 too.
Thank you. Uh-huh.
No.
I want to know, and that was the first Derek's Wrong episode shot. No,
That was
Derek's
the
Wrong,
first
Derek's Wrong.
one?
Apparently I
Wow.
wasn't that wrong. So
No, you weren't. I don't think we say that I don't feel like we say you're wrong all that often. I think we thought we were going to say that you were wrong a lot more than we actually do.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I'd stick with the 1.5. If anything, I may drop it down to a 1 just
Oh, it's
because
awful. It was so bad.
It was.
I
but
gave
yet
it a
you
4.
are
Was this before or after I started drinking wine? This must have been before I started.
before, probably.
So, like, otherwise I
Yeah.
would have been way more honest.
Well,
Yikes.
so, okay. Next clip is one I almost hesitate to bring up here. We had been watching, we just watched Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 1. And there were predictions about what was going to be happening. And I think everybody knows where this is headed, but let's just roll the tape.
Where do you think Steve is?
Okay, so I need to tell you, I know that this is going to be wild to all of you. My favorite line in the entire show was when the guy that I can't remember his name was talking to Sam, and he was like, okay, but did you fly him to the moon? Like, did you? And then he's like, yo, I've got to go. And he's like, what are you doing? And he goes, moon stuff. So
Yep.
I'm just saying, for sure, he's on the moon. Mostly because I don't know. I'm really bad at predicting things because when I predict things, it's 100% of a left turn from whatever it is I predicted. So if I predict it, it will probably be wrong.
Kate,
He's still on the moon.
I love
Still
that we
there.
can tease each other about this. So,
love
however,
it.
some things haven't changed. Most of what you predict is not true. So anyway,
Fair. That's fair.
I'm- yeah. And
fair.
as we saw, we never did find out where Steve Rogers was in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
We did not.
So as far as we know, he was just an old man sitting on the sidelines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to be So those were some of our really early episodes. Next one is we're going to be jumping ahead to Loki. Episode 1. We had been Loki episode 4 is after Loki episode 4. This is the one after Loki has basically died and been sent to the end, and that last shot is of like the 3 Lokis, including the alligator Loki. That is where Kate takes off, and we have our first instance of Miss Confused Kate.
You're welcome.
Listen, y'all. Okay. For those of you following along at home, Kate is taking a journey chronologically through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, including television shows. We have just watched Captain Marvel, which is a great movie. I am struggling so hard to understand what's happening. And I'm trying. I am asking so many questions. I am Googling. For some reason, the idea of the variants and like they are Loki, but they're not Loki. But wait, a variant is like, it's like a person who I had to ask my boyfriend so many questions because
#confused Kate.
So confused and not for lack of trying to understand. That's what was so frustrating is I finally finished the 4th episode and I was like, yo, I still don't get it, except that I know that there's a Loki that likes gators at some point, like that is holding a gator or something like that.
No, the gator is
was
Loki
Loki.
also.
The gator is a Loki.
Oh my God, you guys, please!
It's ridiculous, but
I'm
yes.
trying. And it's not for lack of of having watched the past movies and all the things. And they got rid of my voice crush, like Owen Wilson. I could listen to that man read the number pi like in its entirety, and I would probably still be in love with him. So
okay, but they got rid of him in the exact same way that they got rid of Loki.
Yeah, no,
right? So we don't know.
Right. Because I know Rebecca messaged our group chat and was like, "Yo, this ending," and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And so I was expecting someone who shall remain nameless to show up and be like, "Oh no, look at all the things." I really expected like a bigger twist. I am not enjoying it, but it's not because it's not good. It's because I'm just really struggling to understand what's going on. So.
Yeah.
Good job, me. Also, my baseball cap game was on point. We had just watched The Sandlot. Yo, that was such a good night.
Sandlot, which was a great movie.
That was a great movie. Yeah, it's this is the same reason why I didn't care for as much for what are we just watched? Help. What did we just watch?
Moon Knight.
But Moon Knight. Because it was another one of those like, wait a second, I'm missing something. How did I miss this? Da-da-da. And so hashtag confused Kate has its own sign. And
yeah.
That's real. That's where it started, y'all. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. That was probably last summer at some point. Just because we'd been doing The Sandlot.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So, okay, for our next clip, I have gained somewhat of a reputation as someone who does not like Marvel. Deservedly so. But we laid out a challenge for the other members of the Plus Platoon to pick out a Marvel show, a Marvel movie that they thought I might enjoy. And the selection was Ant-Man. So we had gone through, we discussed Ant-Man, and here I am about to give my rating for Ant-Man.
Okay. With the qualifier that so far I have given the Avengers a 2.5 and I have given Loki a 1.
Okay.
Ant-Man gets a 3.5 from me.
Wow, that's high.
So-
That's really high.
I think I
High
win.
praise.
Pete, I set certain requirements out there. I had always discarded this as, this is not a normal Marvel movie. So I just thought, it's not a Marvel movie. Well, for me, that makes it good, apparently. So, Pete, job well done. You were successful.
Pete, I bow to your prowess in a movie selection for Derrick.
Now, sadly, we don't have time for an acceptance speech. So,
Moving on. Moving right along.
moving right along.
Moving right along.
It's
Yeah. I mean, the fact that it had no connections to any other show, really,
right.
and had some humor in it, and wasn't completely full of fight scenes. Oh wait, that's why I liked Moon Knight too.
Yeah. We were just talking. Everybody, as I said in one of the other clips, Kate is still journeying her way through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the last movie I watched was not on Disney Plus because it was made actually by Sony. Spider-Man: Homecoming. And Derrick, I think that you would enjoy that one because it is also, yes, it has some big fight scenes, but it is a little bit more comedic. Yeah, it's good. Did we watch Thor Ragnarok?
Nope, not yet.
We haven't done Ragnarok? Okay.
Have
That's
not
the
got-
one that's
the one
favorite.
you thought that's the one you thought I would really like. So
Yes. Correct.
okay. For our last clip, we're going to go way, way, way. It's a deep dive into the vault.
Oh no.
Yes. We had just finished Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4, which was where John Walker had killed the guy in front of everyone with the shield.
Yep.
And the John Stamos show Big Shot was getting ready to debut. Enjoy this one.
Oh no.
Okay, coming up next week, we've got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, next to last episode, and we've got the Big Shot premiere.
What is the Big Shot, Derrick?
Okay, well, now, apologies to Lin-Manuel Miranda in advance, but every
I'm gonna need you
action.
to tread very lightly.
Yeah, you
on
need to
this.
tread very lightly. I'm very
No,
serious
let him-
about Lin
Let him
Manuel.
do it.
So
Let him do it.
Let me do. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. John Walker messed up bad. I tolerate the guy, but he's in traction. The poor man, the poor Mandalorian, he's missing in action. And now I'm facing John Stamos with his own faction. He's popular with millennials. They see Uncle Jesse. He can't play other characters. It just gets messy. The problem is he's a more handsome Gordon Bombay. He can try to do well if the hair flip doesn't get in the way. It must be nice to have recycled stars on your side.
oh my god, I just fell in love with you, Derek.
Does not disappoint. Does not
I
disappoint.
told you.
Still one of my favorite moments.
Guys, I'll say when I get struck by another inspiration, we may see that come back. I have not been thus inspired so far.
That's fair.
So
That's
yeah,
fair. I had forgotten about that until and as
I
soon as it came
started
up,
it.
it was like, oh yeah. Because I remember Sam and I were both like, you better check yourself right now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we've had some really good moments on
yeah, it's been a lot
on
of
the Plus
fun.
Platoon. It's definitely, you can tell if you go back and rewatch the series that we have really gotten comfortable with each other and we know how to play off each other, and we know yeah, it's really good. I mean, yes, there's confused Kate and he's on the moon and like giving you a hard time about Marvel stuff, which I hope everybody watching this that this makes it make a little bit more sense. But yeah, we've definitely come a long way, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens in the future.
Yeah, and I love the fact that we can give each other a hard time,
Yeah.
and we're totally fine with it. We all know that nothing that is said on this show is personal,
Right.
and we're all, good friends in the background. So,
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay,
I look
Kate.
forward to Tuesdays.
yes, next week,
Bandale, Rescue Rangers.
I am so looking forward to this movie. I
Yeah?
hope this is a movie that if it lives up to its potential, will probably receive a very high rating from me. It's also a movie that if it doesn't live up to its potential, could challenge, Howard or Loki for me.
Wow.
I mean, I think it's going to be an either or. I think it's either I'm going to love it or, oh my gosh, this is terrible.
I can't believe I
um,
gave On the Room a 4.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe I did that.
And if you guys want to know what we've given other shows, we have the list of the entire list of our Pixie Dust ratings it's on plusplatoon.com. Just go to Pixie Dust ratings and you can see what everyone gave every show so far. And yeah, there's some interesting ones in there, especially from early on.
Yeah.
But the Chip and Dale movie actually released a 1-minute little segment with Chip, Dale, and Monty today. I think the basic idea of it is there are missing tunes and they have to go find them. It's very Roger Rabbit. It's very Roger Rabbit.
Oh.
But I think
Roger Rabbit was pretty scandalous in its time.
yeah, it was.
It was
But
pretty scandalous.
also the only time Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse were ever on the same screen.
Wild.
Because,
So would it be like Roger Rabbit or like Space Jam? Would Space Jam
Space
kind of
Jam would be similar. It'd be similar. Yeah, probably. But
Yeah,
I don't
Roger
know.
Rabbit
We'll
was
have-
scandalous.
yeah. Are you
Crazy.
old enough to remember when Roger Rabbit came out?
I don't know if I saw it when it came out, but I know I saw it as a kid. I don't know what year it came out.
That's fair. I think it was the late 80s, early 90s in there. So
Okay. I was born in 88, so
yeah. So you may have seen it in the theater, but you probably don't remember it. So
The Sandlot was the first movie I saw in theaters.
okay. Very cool.
Yep.
All right, Kate. Well, this has been fun. This has been a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun digging back through some of those old clips to figure out, okay, what's kind of the essential information that if you're just joining us, it's a lot of fun to know.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. We'll have to come back. We'll have to do this another year from now and recap the last year, see how things have evolved.
Yeah, I think this could definitely be something that, we pull one of these out every once in a while.
I like it.
Okay, Kate, I hope you have a great week, and we will see you guys on the 24th for Chip and Dale.
Chip and Dale. Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Plus Platoon. Be sure to subscribe to the Plus Platoon podcast to keep getting great content each week. Then head over to Apple Podcast and leave those 5-star reviews as they help make the Plus Platoon visible to even more Disney Plus fans. Also, go to YouTube and like and subscribe to the Plus Platoon channel, where you can watch all future episodes live. If you have a question for the Plus Platoon, please send us an email to plusplatoon@gmail.com or connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram @plusplatoon.
The Plus Platoon is a Disney Plus fan podcast and is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company or the Disney Plus streaming service. All opinions expressed on the show are solely those of the individual hosts and in no way reflect the views of the Walt Disney Company.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode because the Plus Platoon is to be continued.